Hey, Instagram. I'm here. You're being alerted. And we're just going to breathe. Got my awesome Golden Girl shirt on today. So I'll let all the settings do their magic, and then I'll turn on Facebook too. So we wait. We drink coffee, and we wait for people to be alerted. Let everybody know that I'm here. Got my coffee cup. It's pretty cool, actually. I don't know if you can see it as clearly. There we go. It's got a cool hand wrap. I've shown this before, so you can stick your hand in and keep it warm, even though it's very hot today, and there's no need for that. So how are you doing out there? Everyone okay? We're going to talk about discomfort and failure today, because it's everywhere, right? The entire country is going through kind of a rebirthing and trying over, pulling apart on just so many levels. So as we wait, we breathe. Hey, Brian. I have our affirmators deck right here. So I'm going to pull a card for today. Just so you know, it's legit that I don't pre-plan these things. I'm taking it out. Taking out the instruction cards my kid likes to mix up here. Okay. I should probably actually plan this a little bit better. I want it to feel spontaneous. So laying them out. And as we think about discomfort and failure, we breathe. All right, let's see. Hey Brian, everyone's a teacher. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. So today I'm thanking the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes, for playing your part in making me a better person. Yeah, I'm super okay with that. I think that's great. What do you guys think? Right? Our friends, and sometimes the ones that make it easy for us, and the a-holes in our lives are the ones that challenge us to do better and do more. But yeah, I'm all right with that. That's basically my job. People get mad at me all the time because I'm pointing out the things and the patterns, and when people do that to me, I too can get upset, which ties right into our theme. So that is amazing. The cards are never wrong, right? They call me on my stuff, and they kind of point us in the direction that we need to go. And as always, if you're on Facebook, you're going to hug all your a-holes. I love that. Yes, and if you're on Facebook, please make sure you message, because I can't necessarily see who's up there. On Instagram, it pops up beautifully. And I'm sorry for the dark shades on Facebook. My iPad is just betraying me left and right, like I always generally say. All right. We breathe, we expand and retract in these moments without judgment, to prepare us for the day. All right? We sit with the discomfort. So much going on. There's like astrological things going on. There are protests and revolutions happening, conversations about policing, about racism, about anti-racism. We're having conversations for myself around failure, around doubt. I posted a lot through my Facebook group about my chronic illnesses, and so people have gotten to be exposed to some of that journey during a pandemic. It's super fun, right? And so we have to be present with all of it without judgment. Hey, Heather, good morning. So being present without judgment of all of the choices we're making, the choices we've made, and the choices we have to in the future, the choices that are coming. And that is why we have to breathe. Because we have to feel our feelings. I'm talking a lot about emotions or disconnection from emotions with my clients, and also around failure, right? That when you feel something, right, those who choose to disconnect are disconnected, right? So they can kind of go through the motions without being go through the motions of their thoughts and their daily lives without really being impacted. It actually sounds nice sometimes, right? Sometimes that sounds like, oh, wouldn't that be easier to be sort of on the robot automaton side of things and not feel feelings and be logical and rational all the time? But you also miss out on the fun and the spirited debate and the anger and the passion and the happiness and the horrendous grief, right? You miss all of those opposing sort of like different spectrums of emotion. Sorry, I'm trying to get both cameras in with my hands. Right? And so when we feel our feelings, that's one layer, right? And then our thoughts have an impact on those feelings. If we take that out, that's a problem right there. But if we continue on that journey, right, our thoughts create our feelings, then that impacts our actions. And then if we think we've done something wrong, or we believe we have, let's go with an example that we haven't done anything wrong, right? We start to wonder if we failed or done something incorrect, and we want to fix it because we feel really guilty and really bad. And with some of the things that are going on right now, yes, we can feel guilty and try to do something different. We don't have to fix it. We have to do better, right? Thinking about doing better. And man, that lights up for me, chest and stomach. I don't know about you guys. Woo! Feel it. All the tinglies. And that is why we have to breathe together and be present. Be with everything that is. That's why it's fun to wear fun leggings. I don't have fun leggings on today. I have a funny shirt today. But when you're looking down and kind of giving yourself a hard time, or maybe inner reflection, sometimes a funny pair of pants with dinosaurs or bones or something on them makes it a little easier. And so I'm pulling up this book by Pema Chodron, Comfortable with Uncertainty. Block my face a little bit. I look to this book so often for insight and wisdom, and it's always here. So thinking, there's two of them in the section, Turning Arrows into Flowers. Any obstacle we encounter has the power to pop the bubble of reality that we have come to regard as secure and certain. When we're threatened that way, we can't stand to feel the edginess, the anxiety, the heat of anger rising, the bitter taste of resentment. Therefore, we reach to whatever we think will blot it out. Right? Do you see yourself in that? The way to turn this arrow into a flower is to open our hearts and look at how we try to escape. We can use pleasure-seeking as an opportunity to observe what we do in the face of pain. Right? Talk about lack of judgment, right? Not judging and being compassionate is let's notice what we do to avoid pain. Let's notice it and be present with that. Because then we can see what we're doing and then we can change it. And the second one that I thought relates to this conversation today has to do with how we try to recreate ourselves when things fall apart. We return to the solid ground of our self-concept as quickly as possible. It's the nostalgia from samsara, which is a yoga term. When things fall apart, and instead of struggling to regain our concept of who we are, we can use it as an opportunity to be open and inquisitive about what has just happened and what will happen next. That is how we turn this arrow into a flower. What? Isn't that awesome? Hey, Jessie. Right? Woo. Like, I don't know when she wrote that book. Probably not too long ago, but I'm gonna say 90s. We can check later. But that stuff still rings true right for this moment. And those writings are based on ancient things, like stories of Buddha, right? Like just ancient information that's calling us out right now in this moment. Right? We cling to our own. Hey, Roseanne. Good morning. Right? We cling to the old us when things fall apart. Instead of going, oh, I'm falling apart, maybe I need to change and do it different. When I put the pieces back together, what could they look like that's different? Right? And that's where we breathe and be present without judgment. It's what we do. We don't need to rebuild ourselves the way we were because that's looking back. I've been watching The Incredibles with my daughter, right? And Edna Mode, who is like the costume designer for superheroes, she says, I never look back, darling. It distracts from the now. And it's just so perfect. It makes me smile all the time whenever I think of it. Right? So between The Incredibles and Pema Chodron, we've got like Pixar meets Buddhism and ancient texts today, right? They all come together because it's about moving forward and breaking through our discomfort. Even if we failed, even when we failed publicly and horrifically, even in the face of being called out, we might not make it pretty, right? We might have a lot of shame and guilt, but we can rebuild, for sure, into something new. Clearly, I've been thinking a lot. Think about like Rob Lowe, right? I was just listening to him on a podcast. I mean, who doesn't love him now? He was on The West Wing. He was on Parks and Rec, like in these amazing characters. But he was kind of terrible for a time. He was definitely a misogynist, right? I don't even know, right? Being out there, being famous and taking advantage of his power and his whiteness and his adorableness and his great eyes, right? But who doesn't love him now? He rebuilt, I hope. Sounds like it. He seems like a really nice guy these days, right? Writes books, is sober, like doing the next right thing. So we have to rebuild and be a little different. It doesn't have to look the same. My friend Tara, who's on here right now, I'm calling you out. She's going to become a doctor. She's going to get her PhD. She's going to be a little bit different than she was when I first met her, I don't know, 100 years ago, whatever that was, right? Still amazing. But we have to rebuild when we get new information. We have to start kind of different. Glue it back together another way. So, anyone with me? Are we still on board? Can someone give me a thumbs up while I have some coffee? Checking out my mug from The Hoot, which actually Tara was there when I bought this. Hey, Catherine. So let's just be present. Oh, Jesse, thank you. Right? And I so appreciate you all being here. Heather, thank you. Right? If anyone on Facebook wants to give me a thumbs up, I might see it later. Yeah. Okay, so you're with me a little bit. Awesome. Right? We have to learn. We have to rebuild ourselves when things fall apart. And we are all falling apart. Some of us make it look better than others. Not me. I'm not referring to me at all. Right? Our society is like falling apart and rebuilding. We are all rebuilding. Our jobs look different. Our offices look different. Our minds, our thoughts have to look different. We have to peel back a lot of layers right now. But we don't need to judge it and give ourselves an incredibly hard time, right? Because who's motivated by that? Certainly not me. Give me a sugary treat. I'm with you. Yeah, society is evolving, totally. And that's okay. We need to do that. We need to be moving forward. We need to make some changes. Clearly, people are suffering at our own hands. Not okay. So I'm getting all hyped up. Coffee's hitting me. Yes, let's breathe and be open to being wrong and rebuilding. I am very open to being wrong. I tell my clients this all the time. It hurts my ego, don't get me wrong. Like my pride goes, like I feel that arrow right here. And I could like cling to me and my expertise and my knowledge and, I don't know, whatever makes me think I know a lot of stuff, right? My big hair and my big brain, right? Or I can go, yeah, prove me wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. Find the study. I'll look at it. I'm open to it. I want to be put out of a job. I don't want to have to do this all the time. I don't want to be your therapist and support. I love it. But if everyone solves their own problems, you won't need me anymore, right? So we can be open to being wrong. We got it wrong. We called it wrong. I spelled it wrong. I typed it wrong. It didn't make sense. I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't read enough. I read too much. Right? Like being open with that. So like sigh it out. Let's connect to the ground. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Let's place our hands on the ground if you're with me. If you weren't here when I first started, I pulled a card that was everyone is a teacher. And it thanks the friends who always support you and then the a-holes who call you out on your stuff. And I always need that. And I could be that for you. So, placing our fingers on the ground next to us. I'm on a pillow, but maybe your hands are right next to you or on your thighs. And just let that shit go. Oh, I cursed. Sorry, everybody. Let it go. Release it into the ground. Release it into your cushion. Release it to your butt. The ground can handle it. My old, maybe it was probably white to beige carpet, can handle it. Clearly, it's absorbed a lot. Never be afraid to laugh. This is where we face our stuff. This is the practice where we face our stuff and are open to it so we can change it. We can be open to hearing that feedback that we got it wrong. We did it wrong and we need to do better. And then we have to take action. Society is demanding a change, right? Women need a change. There are a few men on here and I have so much love for you too, but you're not my main audience, right? I work with women. Just letting it all go. All right, as promised, I keep them brief. I know you guys have places to be and things to do, kids to take care of, breakfast to eat, or whatever you got to do next on your way to work. Maybe that's in your house. My office is through the cameras on the other side of my bedroom. So let's be present with what is. Let's give ourselves a high five, right? I do a lot of like face touching stuff and I'm realizing that doesn't work anymore. I'm gonna have to find some new gratitude practices and I'm over like touching my heart. So like self five. Looks like a prayer. I'd go high, but then you'd miss it on the camera, right? Self five. You did it. You were with me. You're present. You're being open. I'm so grateful for you being here. Let's breathe and be proud of ourselves, right? Yeah. A little pat on the back. For trying, for being open, for knowing you're going to get it wrong and being okay with that and not feeling so responsible for fixing it. Can't fix huge societal problems by yourself. Got to pull in those a-holes and the friends that tell you you're always doing amazing. And we move forward and we make changes. People are telling us we got it wrong. That's okay. We'll do better. We have to do better. We have to make a change. To look around and be open to being wrong. Failing. But not feeling guilty that we screwed it up and it's all on us and we're going to fix it, right? There's a team effort that has to go into making those changes. So thank you so much. I will talk to you guys next week on Wednesday. I'm doing a webinar later today if you want to check it out on mindfulness and recovery. So check that out. It's through GASP in Groton and it'll be free on Zoom or join my Facebook group. It's called Break You. BREAK space you. And that's free. You can join me there. And then, of course, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you want to get deeper into this stuff, send me a message, send me an email, groundedtherapist.com. And I will talk to you guys soon. Self-five. Bye.